it's me, American Boathead, and today I'm going to show you how to make your little topper or boat or mini camper or whatever you got to do a little bit stronger. So I have this built with minimal framing to keep it lightweight and cheap. So I'm going to go in and take some bondo glass and I'm going to put it on the inside corners. I've already poor man's fiberglass this. So you want to get a few things ready: a pair of scissors, mixing tool. You could even use a wooden shim if you want. This is a putty knife, nice and stiff. Don't want it too floppy. And a couple of freezer Ziploc bags or whatever kind you want to use, but that's what I use because they're big enough. So let's get to it. Oh, also some of these rubber gloves. I hate taking these off because it breaks my nails. Big old clump of it right there. There's really no need to panic yet because it hasn't been mixed with the hardener, so there's no big rush. But I definitely need to use it to make a nice radius with my thumb. So this is quite a bit of bondo. I feel like when you have this much and you put it inside of a bag, it goes off or cures quicker because it generates its own amount of heat, but that's magnified when you have much more. So even though it's really cold in here, I want to not waste too much, so I'm not going to put in as much hardener as I normally would. I'm going to just do a strip across it, a smaller one, maybe a little more. So I got one little corner here. I'm going to try to put it right into there once I mix it up. So let's go. Circular, twisty motions as much as you can. Try not to get too many air bubbles. For this application, it's not a big deal to get some in there. And it's pretty squishy. It should turn a nice brown color because red and green makes brown. I want to keep scraping it off the cardboard to make sure that all of the bondo has some hardener in it. So in my mind I'm thinking, I don't have enough hardener in here. This is really green compared to the color I usually have, which is usually brown. I'm going to try to do it anyways. Put it in the bag. Throw this away or use it the other side of it later. Want it to be down in that corner. I'm going to squeeze it all down in there as much as I can before it starts getting hard. And you get it down in there. Cut a little corner off of it, about a ½ inch long. Try not to get bondo on your scissors. And let's get to it. And just get every seam that I can, especially the ones that I want stronger. See that? And the bag is actually kind of radiusing it out for me. Try to make it a little wet. Squish a nice radius on it. I like to use my thumb. It makes the nicest radius. So I got the perfect size thumb for it. Wasn't born with a lot of talents, but I was born with the perfect size thumb for a radius. And I'm grateful for it. This is good for radiusing, but also for mushing it into the two sides of the wood, so it doesn't stick to my glove as bad. There's gonna come a point where it's gonna start wanting to pull out instead of smoothing over, and that's when you're about done working it, because it's just gonna start getting messier. That's all there is to it. Neat, right? Now I'm gonna mix up some more and do the rest of it. Probably one more batch like that and I'll be good to go. All right, it's been about 2 hours and I can tell on these bags pretty hard. So that's a pretty good test. Also, this is my first batch and it's still a little tacky and a little rubbery, but it breaks, so that means it's getting harder. Thicker stuff sometimes cures more. So it is curing slowly but surely. Here's my second batch. It was a little hotter, but it's about the same. So I'm pretty hopeful that it got hard, broke in half, so that's good. Come over here, and a good way to test it is to find a little chunk like this and see how it broke off right there. That means it's curing. This is really slow because of how cold it is and how little amount of hardener I put in. If you can tell, hear that noise? It's a little bit tacky, but it's not malleable anymore. So, crisis averted. Because I was a little concerned that it wasn't actually going to cure up and I'd have all this messy crap in here. So, I'm going to let this probably cure overnight before I do too much messing with it. And then I'll put it back on the boat. Start cutting some windows. So some uncured, unmixed stuff there.